Hey, Jetta. Hello. Hello. Where's Bowser? Where's Bowser? He's not over here. Here he is. Hey, Bowsy. You having a nice day? That's good. This weekend, we are looking after Bowser's girlfriend, Jetta. And Jetta is also a Chow Chow, and Bowser and Jetta have known each other since they were little puppies. They're about the same age, only a few months apart, and her mum's away at the moment, so we're just looking after her for a couple of nights, and let me tell you, they're having the best time ever. You guys have been playing, having treats, weeing, and Bowser's loving it, aren't you? Been a few weeks since the last vlog, really because things got like super duper crazy. We had James's parents visit, then we got sick with I think gastro, which was not great. And then straight after that, we went to PAX Australia. On top of that, I just mentally had a really tough time, and I can do a bit of a throwback to when I was trying to film a vlog.
Had no energy, being really emotional, and I thought maybe this is good to put in a vlog so you guys can see like a not so good day, because usually I just show the good content.
You can see I just wasn't having a great time, and it's meant that I'm not getting off my medication as quickly as I had hoped. But you know what? That is okay, because I can take as long as I like. It's the same with anyone on medication, you just go at your own pace. Speaking of going at my own pace, we are due to go to Sydney in a month or so, and we won't be back until a few days before Christmas. So I'm actually sorting out all of our Christmas stuff now, so it's done before we leave, and we can come back for Christmas and everything's ready to go. So today we're going to be doing some baking of Christmas fruitcakes, Christmas pudding, which I might add I have never done before, so this is a first for me. Hey Bowsy. And I've actually been doing some sewing as well. I bought this, I didn't even know these existed, but this is a hand sewing machine, like a mini one. And so far it's working well. I've used it for one dog bandana. I'm making dog bandanas. And I finished one. This one's actually for Jetta while she's here. I could measure it for her. But it's so cute. It's got fabric of the Grinch with the Who's from Whoville, Dr. Seuss pattern, which I just thought was very cute. I love red at Christmas time, so red will look good on all of the doggies. And I have to make 9 of these. I have 9 doggies to make Christmas gifts for. So one's done, and this is what I'm using to stitch them with. I tried a glue gun, and that did not work. So yeah, hoping that there's enough fabric here. And the reason why I just got the one fabric was because I thought it would be really cute if they were all matching. And I just want to do more Christmas crafts this year, because I feel like it's such a lovely opportunity to make things for people. And I feel like when you make something, it shows a lot of love. So I'm doing that. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any ideas for what you could cook like 2 months in advance of Christmas. So I'm making some mini Christmas fruitcakes, and I'm trying some mini puddings. These were almost exactly the same. One's got brandy, the other one's got brandy and sherry in it. And then I'm using these teeny weeny little fruitcake tins that I got on sale to make just like little gift versions. And I think they're going to hopefully keep okay as long as they have alcohol brushed on top of them. I think it's each week after making them, so the alcohol will stop them from going off. And while I'm away, I'm hoping maybe my dad can do that. So that's exciting. We're gonna do the pudding the old steam way. So we're just gonna use calico, which we're gonna boil to make sure this is fully sanitized. I've even beaten the shops to Christmas stock. Like I tried to go buy some chocolates, and the chocolate store doesn't even have their Christmas stock in yet. So I'm even too early for the shops, it seems, but they apparently are stocking them in 3 days. So I'll order them then. And Bowser, James, and I are going to do a little photo shoot. Bowser, James, and I are going to do a little photo shoot and send out cards like they're meant to be lame and funny. I also wanted to do something with the girls before we head off. I'm gonna have like a girls Christmas crafting bonanza where we're gonna try, I don't know if this will be any good or just look terrible, but we're trying air dry clay ornament. And I've got some craft things in here for us to also make Christmas cards with, templates and tags and colored paper. So that should be a lot of fun. And I also got some letter stamps so we can actually stamp the ornaments and personalize them. I thought that would be nice. I've got a bit of gold leaf as well, imitation gold leaf. Later on, I'm also going to try and have a go at making my own Christmas wreath. I believe this is a macrame hoop, and I've got some florist wire, and then I'm gonna use dried eucalyptus leaves to wrap around it in ribbon. I don't know, I'll just have fun. I guess we should get baking, not bacon. So I started off mixing together the fruitcake recipe, and the Christmas fruitcake recipe as well as the pudding recipe I actually got from donnahay.com. I'll try and remember to link it in the description down below, but they just seem like really basic, trusty recipes and a good place to start if you're like me and you've never done pudding and fruitcake recipes before. And also in the comments it said how to store them too, which was really helpful. So that's why I used that. And here's James getting over my kitchen dancing. He's like, okay, I'm over the party now, and I just want to keep going. So interestingly, the fruitcake recipe and the puddings were really, really similar, the mixtures. So that also made it really easy to make both of them at the same time. And I'm just putting the fruitcakes into the pans, putting the almonds on top. That's just like a common little decorative thing you see on Christmas fruitcakes. And then I popped them in the oven. And I'm actually really happy with how the fruitcakes came out. And I can't wait to try them once they've matured for a bit. Okay, so we've got the plum pudding ready to go. The calico bags are all sanitized, not icky anymore. We've got plum pudding mix here. And I'm just gonna see how I go because I've never done this before. But apparently we lay this out flat. And then we put flour on it to create like a circle, and I guess this is where the pudding's going to go. And then we spoon half of the mixture on to the flour. Whoa, is that half? It's a little bit off. Oh my God, this feels so weird. Like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And then we're gonna gather these together as closely as possible, make it into a little pudding bag. And we're meant to have kitchen string. I don't want to have like a Bridget Jones's Diary moment where she turns everything blue because she uses the wrong string. I don't know what kitchen string is. I'm going to use this one though. And you have to have about 15 centimeters on either end and tie this as close to the pudding as possible. Okay, then we put this in the saucepan. Cute, little bundle of joy. It's like a dumpling. I don't even know if there'll be room to cook both of these at once. Oh yeah, that fits. So there's one. And then you reduce this to a simmer for 4 hours. Is this simmering or is this boiling? Then I have the other pudding to put in. Ooh, can they both fit in here? Is this okay? Are they gonna turn out weird shapes? They may have flat sides, so make sure the string doesn't catch on fire from the gas stove. I want to see if I can fit like a mini one on the side for us to try. And then I made this little mini one because I would like to see if the mini ones are easy enough to make as well. Oh, look at that. There's just enough water to have a short amount before it overflows. And then they go in there for 4 hours. I might check the little one after 2 though, or even an hour. Hey guys, so it's the next day and the puddings are still hanging, so we'll be able to open them up soon. Hopefully they look okay and we can package them up to store for Christmas. I've been drying out some oregano. I've just left it out to dry for a while. And then I've got this, is it called a mortar and pestle, where I just break it up. And then I've made my own dried oregano, which is pretty cool. So I've done some of it so far. Jetta's being picked up soon as well. And then after this, we have something really exciting to do, and that is harvest our first ever cauliflower. I I didn't know that we would successfully grow cauliflower. Like in my mind, cauliflower is something that's really hard to grow. Maybe it's really easy in reality, but I think just because it's such a big thing, size-wise, it's pretty cool. We grew mini cauliflowers, so it'll be smaller than the ones you probably are used to seeing, but perfect if you're growing them in your backyard. And then we'll also get some lettuce and kale as well for the week ahead. We haven't had to buy lettuce. The only lettuce we've bought is a special mix that James likes to have on his burritos and tacos. But you know what? Whatever makes him happy. He has the lettuce with like every other meal, so that's fine. I won't be offended. Look at all these dried leaves. It's funny, in America, you guys call it oregano, don't you? Whereas here we call it oregano. I imagine that's what the Brits say as well. Just crush it up. I mean, I could probably put this in a food processor or something, but there's something nice about doing things by hand in the more traditional methods. Whoops. Except when you make it go everywhere. You can tell I've never used one of these before. The other thing you can do with this is make herb salt. You know, mix it with salt, package it up. I could actually do that for Christmas as a gift. So there we go. Some dried oregano. I guess I'll just put this in something airtight and then have it like on roast vegetables and dishes like that. Today's the big day. We're gonna harvest the cauliflower. And ever since we put a built-in compost worm farm into this box, it's gone crazy. So definitely having worms helps a lot, I think. Look at that. It's a little bit smaller because it is a mini cauliflower.
Kind of looks like a regular size.
But
It's
yeah.
huge. I thought it was bigger than like 2 days ago.
I mean, it's crazy. And we needed this netting because this is actually my second attempt at growing them. The first time the cabbage moths got into it. So yeah, and apparently most of the time you can only harvest them once. So it's just like the one time, which is probably good because we're running out of room anyway. Woo! And it smells like cauliflower over here. Like it smells like cauli. All right. I don't even know how you meant to cut these.
Yeah.
Whoa! We grew this.
What do you do with the rest of it?
I think you pull it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you just take the whole thing out? Because usually in the store, they don't come with the giant leaves, but they still have a bunch of leaves around them.
Whoa. Okay, they come out really easily too.
Okay, maybe just pull them out and then we trim.
I did not expect it to just come out of the ground like that. Whoa.
Oh.
Cool. And I don't know what you do with the cauliflower leaves. So you can harvest them and freeze them too. And also if you're struggling to get your cauliflowers to look white inside, put the leaves over them, apparently, I've heard. So maybe Google it. Whoa.
That's so cool.
How cool is that? This is our biggest harvest yet. Well, there's a few that are still developing, which is good. So we can leave them. And these were all planted from seed. So as tiny little seeds, they weren't seedlings that we bought, which is even cooler and more satisfying. I think we've just got 2 today. And then there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are growing.
Whoa.
And then after, because these cauliflowers, big ground feeders, I think. So you wouldn't plant more of them in the same spot. You would then get either legumes or like root vegetables because they've already used up so many of the nutrients in the soil. And there's this little one in here growing. They're pretty big. These are bigger than the organic ones you can buy at Australian supermarkets. Well, at least in our area. This is our olive tree, and somehow we grew lettuce in here. Accidentally. I don't know if some seeds must have fallen in or what, but there's lettuce here. Let's just pick a couple of those. And I like eating heaps of lettuce. James likes his lettuce too. And I just keep picking them from the outer edges. And then these are little edible flowers here. So I'm picking these as they come up and freezing them in ice blocks. So then I can use them as a garnish on food around Christmas and New Year's. I'm pretty rough with the lettuce. I don't know if some of you guys will be like, oh my God, you're doing it wrong. Just let me know in the comments.
This is just what I've been doing. I can't say I've ever been the most delicate person with things.
Pretty good. And then we also have a lot of kale as well. This one's getting eaten. This would probably need a net on it. I think it tastes so much better than the store-bought stuff. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think it tastes good. Growing some new seeds. So we've got parsley, basil. The basil's just started to come up, which is exciting. And the basil can be grown with tomatoes. And then I also made these as Christmas presents. So these are little tomato plants. Painted these with chalk paint on terracotta pots. And then they have names on the back. So my dad named them. So hopefully by Christmas time, they'll be like a bit bigger and actually look like they will bear fruit at some point. This is Tilly. And then we have Mew, MEW, and Larry. This is a final look at our harvest. Whoa! That is, I have to put this on my gram. Good morning again, everyone. Today's the next day. It's actually Monday, which is my favorite day of the week because I love a fresh week. Although my routine's a little out of whack today because Mr. Bowser is gonna go get groomed. We're yet to find a local groomer though. We love our groomer in the city so much that we actually drive there every time, which is kind of impractical and ridiculous, but she's just the best. And Bowser trusts her, and it takes a while to build up trust with some dogs, so I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand. Just before we head off though, I'm gonna have some breakfast. I'm just having a simple breakfast today. I just picked some silver beet and yummy kale. I actually think this kale may be red Russian kale, but because it hasn't been particularly warm when I grew it, it's not showing any red pigment, but I think these can sometimes go red maybe with warmth. Maybe it's like chilies. Wait, I want to Google it. Oh, okay, so I'm picking it young, but you can let it mature and it looks like supermarket kale basically. I like it when it's young though, because it's very like tender and soft. Sometimes kale can be very peppery and like tough to eat. So yeah, it can have like a bit of a purple look to it. I also picked some of these. These are like little edible flowers, and these are really nice to garnish dishes with. So I'm just collecting them and freezing them as they bloom. And although my freezing method isn't ideal because it's misty ice blocks, if you want to have like clear, crystal clear ice blocks, apparently you just boil the water, then let it cool, and then you put them in the tray. But I don't really have time for that today. I think I'll get another tray and boil that entire tray to just compare them. But you guys have said you just half fill the ice tray. So if you half fill the ice tray, then freeze them, then you can put more water on top after it's frozen. So then the flour is completely covered. So these ones I've just put more water on because those were already frozen. And these are the new ones I've just popped in. I'm gonna have this kale with eggs. I wonder if you can eat the stem. The stem's got quite a strong nutty flavor, like earthy nutty flavor. Probably not for everyone, but... And I'm going to cut this up and cook it in with my eggs. So I'll saute this first with a little bit of garlic. So just popping that in with some olive oil. I'm making this up as I go. Put onion powder on, some garlic flakes. Garlic flakes are very potent. I'll just give that a little mix. Might pop some tomatoes in as well. And then we've got the eggs here, just a couple. Using my mini whisk, which is the most handy random little miniature thing we have, because I use it every single day. Ooh, it's smelling very garlicky. Even though it would be nice to make really elaborate food every day, I mean, this for a lot of people is elaborate, like takes time to make. But really, food needs to be practical for you during the week. So whether that be like chopping things up the night before or finding shortcuts, like instead of having to chop up fresh garlic, using things like the garlic flakes, stuff like that. That's really ideal, I think. If food can be quick and easy for your regular routine, and then you can make more elaborate things for special occasions or when you have the time as like a nice thing to do for yourself and others, to nourish yourself and the people around you. I love starting the day with greens because I feel like it kind of stabilizes my appetite and my energy levels. Like I just feel like it sets me up for a good day. And usually I have 3 eggs. I'm just not as hungry today, but yeah, I'd usually definitely have 3 eggs, maybe some toast as well. I reckon this would be so good with goat's cheese, like marinated goat's cheese. Oh my gosh, but it's actually quite expensive here. So I'm just gonna have it with like regular grated cheese. I suppose I could figure out how to make my own goat's cheese. Maybe I should do that. Like not actually make the cheese, but buy a bigger cheese in bulk that's just like regular goat's cheese and then marinate it myself. And so here's our finished breakfast. It looks a little on the smaller side for sure today. Usually I eat way more than this. I think an extra egg and some toast would be the regular. Yeah, hopefully that inspires some of you guys to make something like this. I almost forgot about the pudding. So yesterday I took down one of the puddings and wrapped them up, and I just wanted to leave one up for a bit longer to dry to see if it would make it easier to get out of the calico fabric. So these have been drying. Whoa, that's heavy. It's been drying to I guess get out the moisture so then we can pull the bag off. And I think I should have put more flour because it's sticking to the fabric a bit much, but oh well. And this one's a bit of a funny shape because it was leaning against the other one. So you can see here it's a bit cooked, but that's okay. It's been made with love and that's the main thing. We'll get better with it each year. And there's a couple of reasons why you might want to make puddings early for Christmas. One is just so there's less to do around Christmas time when it starts to get busy. Like I won't have time to do this later on, so I'm doing it now. 2, some people like to add brandy and sherry while it's being stored, like each or every couple of weeks or every month, and then it will give it more flavor. So some people just like it. So it looks a little gluggy in the fabric because it's just like flour on the outside, but that's what you want. Pud. It's like a little skirt. And then I'll wash this fabric. Part of me wishes I just bought more of the fabric so I wouldn't have to wash it, but then again it's better to reuse instead of just throwing out. Oh no, some of it's sticking. Well, if you guys have any tips on how you go about this, because yeah, mine, it's falling apart. Oh, I actually think the other one came apart more easily. This side's pretty good, and you can see that's where there's been more flour. So I reckon I just needed more flour. That's probably the trick. And that's not my fault, that's the recipe's fault. Or maybe I distributed it weirdly. Okay, so next year we know to use more flour. Although the good news is I can like taste the dregs that stick to the fabric to see what it tastes like. I also wonder if doing it in a proper like pudding saucepan means it will come out more clean looking. I just wanted to try the traditional method though. There's something nice about doing things in the old school way. Okay, bottom of pud is looking pretty rough. Oh dear. And it's got like a chunk missing out the side. Welcome to Christmas with Deli. I mean, it's a first attempt, okay? It's a first attempt. I think there's some calico string here. Maybe next year we'll do better than this. But hey, it's made with love, and I can arrive at a Christmas do and be like, I made this, people. Now I'm not sure whether you're meant to pour the brandy over now and then seal it up, or if you seal it up and then add brandy bit by bit. Also, yes, I did put a clothing horse on the table to dry the pudding. Okay, we're gonna do cling wrap. I've been trying to use a lot less cling wrap, or I've been getting like compostable ones, but I feel like for this, I want to make sure it's fresh, so I'm gonna use the environmentally bad one, because I don't actually know how else to do it. If you know, please let me know. I know you can store it in like Tupperware. I also don't have Tupperware that will fit this because it's currently all being used for the fruitcakes I made. So I guess that's another option. But I've heard you're meant to still double wrap it in the Tupperware as well. And then I'm also putting 2 layers of foil. See, I don't think we can always be perfect with being better with the environment, like we can try to, but as long as you're aware and do what you can, that's something. Collectively, a little goes a long way. So then I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and then I guess I add brandy to it each month, or sherry, poke some holes in it, let it go in. I think that's what you're meant to do, or maybe that's only with fruitcakes. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this vlog. I hope you guys have a great week. Sorry there hasn't been an upload for so long. Life got a little crazy, but I'm glad to be back again. This is so heavy. Whoa, she's dense. And yeah, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon. Dak dak.